Hello, this is White Group Math for day 1 and 2. You've got an important new concept coming up. We are working on multiplication now. So we're going to introduce this topic and start on the work page for it. I think you're going to love it, and I know you're ready for it. So let's get started. The work page you need is this one called Multiplication. Repeated addition, and it's page 93 in your work packet. So go ahead and get that out from me and we'll get ready. You might also need your whiteboard, although I'm not sure. We may be able to do this one just on the page, but you might need your whiteboard and a white dry erase marker. So I'll have those at the ready. You can pause the video if you need to get those, and we'll go on with the directions. Now, some of these I will help you with. Some of them will do all together. Some of them will give you some clues and let you finish the rest on your own. And some of them I'll have you do completely on your own. So it is important that you finish the entire page. It's a brand new concept. You can handle this. There are just only so many that I'm going to talk with you through on today. So here we go. Without further ado, multiplication. 3 times 2, 5 times 5, 7 times 6 is simply a way of saying so many sets. And if you were with me last year in Title 1, we talked about these like cookies. Cookies, I have so many cookies, and each cookie has so many chocolate chips. So I'm going to use the cookie and the chocolate chip analogy with you because I think it will help you understand. So before I begin, and you don't have to write this down, I'm going to talk about, I guess I could do it right up here. This may help you. I'm going to talk about cookies. I love cookies almost as much as I do cupcakes. But we'll talk about cookies today. If I'm doing a math problem, let's say I'm doing 2 times 3 equals. Now, this fits into the math sentence that we always do. Line, circle, line, circle, line. Same thing. You're very used to seeing this, only so far we've used it with addition and subtraction, and now we're going to move up into multiplication. Okay, Mike and Damien are familiar with this because they're already starting into this for me. So you'll see this number sentence as the same format that we've used in the class before. Okay, so what you've got here is 2 times 3. That's the same as saying I have 2 things 3 times. So I could say 2, 2, 2. How many does that make? Or I could say 2 cookies, 1, 2 cookies, and each cookie has 3 chocolate chips. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, there are a couple of ways to count this up. An easy way is to count by threes. So I've got 3 chocolate chips, so I can count by threes. 3, 6. Well, I know that in my head. And that one is not one that we've done yet. So let's take it with one that you do know. I know you all know how to count by fives. So if I have 4 cookies, and each cookie has 5 chocolate chips, I could count that really fast by going 5, 10, 15, 20. Boom, that was Zoom, right? You got that fast. And that's because you can count by fives. All right? We're going to work from here on out, and all next year we'll work on counting by 2s, by 3s, by 4s, by 6s, by 9s, to get these down to where they're right here in your head, to where you won't need to draw out cookies. But for now, as you're learning them, we'll be using the cookies to illustrate this point. Okay, so I can count by threes because I've had a lot of practice with this, and maybe you can't too. If you can, that's fantastic. I can just say 3, 6, and I know that that answer is 6. if you need to start off, I want you to use the counting on. Well, if you look at the first cookie, you already know it has 3, right? So you don't need to count 3. You don't need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can count on. This is what we've done all year in the classroom. Start here. 3, I know it, 3, and then count on 4, 5, 6. Okay? I want you to try to get away from starting all over when you count because you already know. If I were to count 6 on my fingers, I already know that this hand has 5. If I can put it away behind me, bring it back up, it still has 5. I can put it under the easel, bring it back up, it still has 5. I can hide it in my hair, bring it back out, it still has 5. This always has 5 fingers. So I automatically know that I can start with the number 5. I don't have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know that. I know that's 5. So I can count on. So I can just go 5. 1 more is 6. Or I can go, let's say I have this many. I can go 5, 6, 7, 8. This makes you fast. And the name of the game in math is fast. All these tools that we're using are to, all these tools that we have in the toolbox are to teach you to do math not only accurately, but fast. We can do math. There are lots of different ways we can count 8. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can do touch points. 8. I can do memorization, 8. The one that is going to work best for you, your boss is not going to care which one you use, but he's going to want to know the one that works fastest for you. Now, calculators are great. Computers are fabulous. They're the way we do things now. But you need to have a plan B. You need to know if that tool is broken. If you get in your toolbox and your hammer is broken, you have to have something else to use. So that's why we put so many tools in the toolbox. That's why we do touch points. That's why we do counting on. That's why we draw pictures and do tally marks. Because I want you to have all of those tools to find the best one and to have a backup if that one's broken. So, back to our concept. We've got cookies. We've got 2 cookies, and each cookie has 3 chocolate chips. When we count them, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6. So I know that 2 times 3 is 6. But wait, remember this? Remember when we did that in class? That was the commutative property of addition. We added a number. We said 5 plus 5 is, we could say 5 plus 6 is 11. Or we could say 6 plus 5 is also 11. Well, there's another one of these in multiplication, and it goes like this. 2 times 3 is 6. It's always 6. But 3 times 2 is also 6 and is always 6. That's a commutative property of multiplication. You'll see this more. I'm sending out a video on it. I believe there is a video on this in this week's lesson, but if not, it will definitely be on next week's. Just a fun video to let you know that that property means you can switch the order and still get the same answer. Works for addition, works for multiplication. All right? So I've given you a lot of different things right here, and I didn't mean to go so fast with the biggie. So let's go up into our information box because that's always a good place to start. Let's do green today. Okay. My information box is right here. And it says, it's got pictures of birds, and every nest has 2 birds. Okay? Every nest has 2 birds. Like every cookie would have 2 chocolate chips in this example. And it says 3 sets of 2 is 6. 3 sets, 1 set, 2 set, 3 set of 2 birds in every set is 6 birds altogether. 2 sets, or 2 cookies, with 3 in each set, 3 chocolate chips, is also 6. Okay? All right. And so when we write that as repeated addition, I'm simply going to write this number this many times. Okay? So let me show you that. 2 times 3 is the number 2 written 3 times. So I go 2, and this is tricky. This is tricky to keep in your head, but I do want you to see what it looks like. 2 written 3 times. I write the number 2 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Oops. See, I told you it was tricky. You're going to do that. 2 times 2 times. 2, 2, 2. Number 2 written 3 times. And then I simply go like this. Okay? And that gives me the same answer. 6, 6. I have 2 chocolate chips, 2 chocolate chips, 2 chocolate chips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? There you go. Now, the reason they want you to write this big, long addition sentence here is so that you can know that addition and multiplication are related. They are related. If you've ever taken a calculator and pushed the number 2 plus 2 and then push equals and then push plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, it is going to give you the same answers as counting by twos. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Try that. Take a calculator if you've got one at home and go 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. What your calculator is doing for you is counting by twos. It's all tied together. Those are all tools to use, and they all fit. They all make sense. You can't, or the easiest way to understand one is its relationship to the others. Okay, so that's why I try to teach you so many tools, and this is one tool. All right, so this page today introduces this tool. Okay, so where was I? And what color was I on? Yellow was the one we did together to read the directions. So 3 times 2 equals 6. Oh, doesn't look the same as up here, does it? That's okay because of that commutative property. Remember what I said? You can switch that order around and still get the same answer. You can switch these around, these two around. But just like in addition, where the big number is in the back, when you multiply, the big number is in the back. So you can switch these two, but you can't switch these two because that will give you a different answer. And we'll talk about that later. But I just want you to remember that when we talk about switching up, we're only switching up these two that we're multiplying. Okay? All right, so we've got that much down. Let's go to number 1 and do number 1 together. First of all, my directions say complete the sentence and solve. All right? And if I look, I can circle my sets. Here is 1 set. Here is 2 sets. Here is 3 sets. You can call them cookies. So how many cookies do I have? 1, 2, 3. sets or 3 cookies. And how many chocolate chips are in each of my cookies? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, without even counting, I don't have to count this one, and I don't have to count this one. Why? Because if I look at them, they are exactly the same. They look exactly the same. So I don't even have to count them again. If I know that I've got 5 here, this one's going to have 5, and this one's going to have 5. Very good. Okay? So I have 3 sets of 5. 3 sets of 5. Now, how do I add all that up? Sure, I could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15. I can do it, but I can do it faster. Can you count by 5s? Yes, let's try it. 5, 10, 15. Boom, we're done. We got it. Good job, because you can count by 5s. When you learn your multiplication tables, I know some of you have older brothers and sisters who are doing this, that's counting by those numbers. And you'll get good at it. You'll get very good at it. Just keep practicing. All right? The Cardroid math that we do in class, and some of you are working on at home, has an addition and a subtraction. When you're done with those, you can move up to the multiplication and start memorizing these to make your tools even faster, even stronger. Okay? So I've got 3 sets of 5 is 5, 10, 15. There we go. And the way I write this in repeated addition is I write 5. How many times? 1, 2, 3. So I write the number 5 3 times. So I have 5 plus 5 plus 5. What's my answer? 5, 10, 15. Easy peasy. Using those tools. Okay. Or I can say 3 cookies times 5 chocolate chips. Same answer. Very good. There you go. Okay? It's a little bit tricky right in this part. Gives you a little bit to think about. You really have to think about it and go step by step. And I told you about math being birthday cake. If you try to eat it all, you're going to throw up on the floor. So don't eat it all. Take it little bitty bits at a time. Take it a bite at a time. Here's a bite. Here's a bite. Here's a bite. Here's a bite. No problem. All right? And you'll enjoy it more too. I always like my birthday cake when I eat it bits at a time. Okay? So let's go on to number 3 and let's look at our sets. I have 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets, and 4 sets. And how many sets, how many things are in each set? Or I have 4 cookies. How many chocolate chips in each cookie? Looks like 1, 2, 3. Okay? So I can say that I have 3 and 3 and 3 and 3. Or 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. Okay? And I can write it like 3, 4 cookies. So I have 4 cookies and 3 chocolate chips in each cookie. Or 3 cookies, 3 chocolate chips are in 4 cookies. Either way, it doesn't matter. You've got that commutative property. Okay? And what's my answer? Let's count. I am never going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You are way, way, way past that. You already know that tool. You know that's 3. Yesterday it was 3. Today it's 3. Tomorrow's going to be 3. Looks just like this one. So I already know it's 3. I don't have to count the 3. I can start with 3 and count on because we've done that a lot. So I go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay? Or I can count by 3s. As you get up in your counting bys, you'll know how to do it. You'll be able to go 3, 6, 9, 12. That comes a little later. Give yourself some time. That's what your mind will do. That's what your head will do. How many chocolate chips in these cookies? 12. 12 chocolate chips. So I can say that 3 times 4 is 12. Okay. Oh, I gave you that one totally all together too. I meant to only give you a clue to that one. Oops, free one. On your own, I'd like you to do this one and this one. Okay? But we are together are going to jump down to the word problem. And word problems, you got them. You know these. You read the word problem, you read the whole problem, you find the math question, you find the math word, you make it as a number sentence. Easy. You got this. So it says, Emma found 3 birds' nests. There were 4 eggs in each nest. How many eggs did Emma find? What is the math question? I start with my question mark because that indicates a question. And I go all the way back till I hit the first word that's capitalized. Backward. Oh, I lost it. Sorry, it's right here. Went right past it. Drove right past it. Missed my exit. Okay, it's right here. H is capitalized and a question mark. So my math question says, how many eggs did Emma find? Okay. Now, if you remember up on the board in the classroom, we had these math words for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. How many? These 2 words right here. How many? Those are my math words. And how many means together. So together, is that add or subtract? Right, that's add. So I know in my number sentence, I'm going to add. Oh, look it, they've already done it. And we know what goes in that one, right? Same with multiplication. When I multiply, I'm going to multiply, and then my equal sign. Okay? So let's fill in our numbers. I've got 3 bird nests, bird nest, bird nest, bird nest, or cookie, cookie, cookie. And how many in each cookie? 4, 4, 4. So let's write that in. 4, 4, 4. And how many does that equal? Or I can say I've got 3 cookies with 4 chocolate chips. How many does that equal? We might have to draw a picture of this. So let's do it over here. Let's draw our cookies. Let's do 3 cookies. 1, 2, 3. And in each cookie, I'm doing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one is the same as this one, is the same as this one. I don't need to count every one of them. I can start here because I know this is 4. So I can go 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's my answer, 12. 3 times 4 is 12. I have 3 sets of 4 eggs or chocolate chips. Gives me 12. Emma found 12. What? 12 hot dogs? No, she found 12 eggs. So we want to label it eggs. It's going to be big when you get in middle school. I'm going to ask you to tell me what you have. All right? So you're going to label it. And there you have it. A little bit complicated in that, not that it's hard, just that there are so many steps you have to go through. Take your time. I've given you 2 days for this paper. I don't want you to try to rush through it all in one day. Take your time. If you need to watch the video again, totally cool. Please do that. Okay, this has been a long lesson, and I don't want to take up more of your time. So let me jump to the back really quickly. Okay? I'm just going to give you a clue on number 1 and then let you finish these on your own. And your clue is this. How many sets? I have 1, 2, 3. 3 sets. How many books are in each set? 3 books. So how many books do I have altogether? 3, 6, 9. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So I'm going to let you do this one. I'm going to let you fill in this on your own. Your math problem is right here. It's always a good idea to find that math question. All right? I'll give you a little clue on there. Put books on 2 shelves. Okay, so he has 2 shelves. 1 shelf here, 1 shelf here. Each shelf has 5 books. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He has 2 sets of 5 equals how many? 5, 10. Easy peasy, counting by 10s. Or counting by 5s, excuse me. Now this one down here is time to review, so it's asking you to skip count. You're going to skip count by 2s. You've got 2, 2, 4, 6, or 2, 3, 4, write it down, 5, 6, write it down, 7, 8, write it down. And now we're counting by 5s. You can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Most of you have that memorized. If you don't, it looks like this. 5, 10, or I'm sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, written down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, write it down. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, write it down. Okay, I'll give you some clue, and there you go. Have a great day, White Group. Good job on your math today. This is a tough concept, and this was the very first day, but you got this. You're doing great. Love you all, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.